about mental health day, and I know it sounds very cringy, but it just isn't about a day. I really wanted to do it for quite a long time. I wanted to talk about psychology and basic things. There are things that I observe sometimes. There are things that I feel like talking about, but because there is so much to go into, like every little thing, be it your thinking, perception, I could keep going on that list. But every one of those little things is so deep to go into. I always had this, I always wanted to do it right because it's about people's brain and it should not be taken lightly. So I think I always had this fear that I say something wrong, and even though you do not watch my videos, but that doesn't matter, right? I didn't want to do it imperfectly. Perfectionism is a bitch. Anywho, so just this thing about doing them well was stopping me from doing it. And I think I really want to take this mental health awareness day, so I'm recording this video on the night of 10th October, and I think this day it really made me do it even if I do it wrong, it's just mostly me expressing my views. And I really think that even before getting into psychology, I learned it to experience how much your mental health is important. And by mental health I mean keeping the brain fit, it's just like how you do with your body. You work out, and sometimes you just don't work out to gain muscles, you work out to keep yourself healthy. It works as a stress reliever at times. It makes you feel good about the rest of your day, or maybe it just gives you something to go on to. And I think focusing on your brain is something very similar to that. It's something people who usually meditate, they say that meditating is like building a brain muscle. But I think it has more to do than just meditation. It's focusing on your brain and then trying to strengthen it somehow. Just like there is this point where exercising gets scary, not scary I would say, but there is this point when you just want to give up. When you're working out, it's just too much, but then you go on to, and then you repeat 2 more reps. It's something very similar with the brain. When you start to get into your thoughts are not taken from me, they are not pretty at all. So when you start to get into those thoughts, it gets scary. Sometimes you would, when you go too deep inside, you would find a lot of messy shit. I think at least there's a lot of messy shit in my head. So you would find a lot of it and you would want to give up. But I would encourage you to look into yourselves. Because no matter how many therapists you go to, or what all plans you make or what you want to do, knowing yourself is your job. I don't discourage going to therapies. It's like I myself go to some of them. It's scary going to therapies, but anyway, it's not about therapies. It's like they are experts in their fields, how and they want to deal with, but you are expert on you. So it's way better going to them, knowing yourselves, knowing what you're dealing with, at least trying to know. How a doctor would ask you certain questions. How do you feel? Where is it paining? And that's the kind of support that both a doctor and therapist needs. they are there to support you, they are there to show you, but you have to take the first step yourselves. And I think that's where this importance of mental health comes in. I will try to record those perfect videos that I've been thinking about. I will try to record them in this imperfect way that I know. There are all these things, all these ways that you can get into yourself, and it might not be beneficial, it might be very empowering. There's no saying it, but at least it's a step towards yourself. I would really treat your mind as like any other part of your body. I read it in a book somewhere how when we have some physical injury, we treat it right there and then. We put on a band-aid or go to the doctor. But whenever we have an emotional injury, we completely ignore it. Like we just and this is especially for our Orthodox parents. They just make sure that it doesn't exist. Imagine what would happen if we start ignoring physical injuries like that. It would be such a mess, and that's exactly the kind of mess our brains have to deal with. I really wanted to keep this video short, but there is so much to talk about this brain. I love the idea of getting into it. It's the most complex thing, and there is so much to observe about it, and all of us do it differently, yet in a very similar way. It's also fascinating. I have been on this journey of exploring my brain, and I've been trying to take help from psychology. I think that is what got me into psychology in the first place. But this seems like such an amazing, scary, never-ending journey. But after all that, it has been so worth it. There are good parts, there are bad parts too. The more I get to know myself, the more complete I feel. I don't have to look anywhere else to be amazed. I don't have to have a great job, good friends, a very high functioning family. It's all there within this small part, I would say, because you just have to look. I started these yoga classes. Yoga is harder than I thought. Anyway, I started these yoga classes recently, and they have this thing where they tell you to listen to your bodies, and your bodies just tells you a lot of things if you just let it tell you. It's kind of similar. Why am I getting into so many analogies? We gotta treat our brains like anything else, because no matter how, even if they're not visible, they have the power to fuck us up real bad. Look at anxiety, for example. That is what I want to give you guys today. You guys, I say you guys as like so many people watch my videos. I want to give this message out that focus on it, even if it's scary, because just be the adventurer of your life. You're not going to get swords and magical fairies things out. This is all we have.